Myself Jugesh Chander. Just introduction in short. I am a retired AGM of Syndicate Bank, now it is Canara Bank. Retired in 2011. Then I joined North India Engineering College. Now it is Dr. Klesh Das Gupta, Institute of Technology and Management. So there I worked for 8 years as assistant professor in finance. Now I am taking classes at Amity University also in taxation. Now here also I think let it be an interactive section. I will be very happy if you learn something from me. I will try my level best. Please, you are at liberty to ask me any doubtful clarification as and when you require. Better if we shift it at the end, it is okay, but still don't hesitate. So we will start. You must be knowing what is the subject today. This one is strategic management. You must have heard about so many managements in management courses, but strategic management is something different. In layman terms, I just would like to tell you, let us take the shape of an organization. What do you find in an organization? Organization itself, which consists of human resources, that is individuals also and in groups also, and management part also, one thing. Then resources are there, internal, external also. We just talk of resources, or intention or our mind just will go towards resources, means financial resources. Of course, financial resources are there, but other resources are also there. Human resources, very important and the complex of the all. It is easy to manage finance, but if you compare, in comparison, it is difficult to manage human resources because of their varying values, attitudes, thoughts, perceptions, etc. So that is called, one is financial capital, another is called human capital, then organizational capital also, that is organizational setup. If you just see different departments, friends, that is just a drop in the ocean. If we talk, it is just department. It is communication network, technological network, then delegation of authorities, responsibilities, formal and informal relations also, that's your form part. Then organization culture also, human values, morals, this is all included in your human resources, that is human capital. Then is relational capital, relations. You see, an organization have relations with, first of all, if we see, these are called stakeholders also. If somebody asks you, what do you mean by stakeholders in an organization? Stakeholder means those that are directly or indirectly connected with the organization. It is not necessary that they should be dealing with the organization in one way or the other. You see, staff, whatever level may be, that is first relation, first stakeholder. Then you see customers, second stakeholders. Then your suppliers, those that supply goods to you, another stakeholders. Government, regulators, because they also deal with you, they want you to discharge your functions, operations as required by the regulations. And you also pay taxes to the government collects revenue from you, that is another stakeholder. Then your competitors, those that compete, it is very important for you to know about the competitors, what they are doing if you have to survive in the competition. So I have discussed about you organization, financial resources, human resources and different relations. What is the ultimate aim of the organization? That is, it is not that profitability. Of course, it is there, but it is to look after the interests of all the stakeholders. First of all lies profitability. Even forward to that, profitability if we talk about maximization of the wealth of the shareholders, because shareholders, they have invested money in the organization. So, it is very important to look after their interest. Then organization raise finance. You see, if I just ask you a simple question, let us start from you. You want to start some business. What is the first thing you are going to do? First thing you are going to do for starting a business? Anybody? Planning. For planning, beta, you must have information to plan. Planning, unless you know मेरे पास finance कितना है, you are comfortable in mixture. If you want, because if from outside states they don't understand Hindi, I will be 100% in English only. Wherever you are comfortable. Planning means planning comes at the end. Because you must know the resources, what are you having. Then only you have to plan. How staff members, finance, space, assets, everything, then only you can plan. So planning is not there. First thing. Idea, business idea, yes, idea comes to your mind. Now you have to implement that idea. You have to bring that idea into action. Then, beta, analysis, planning, one and the same thing. For analysis, you will require data, right? Those are afterwards. First of all, whatever business you are thinking of, you must understand whether you will be in a position to do your own skill, capabilities. Then, suppose you are going to produce some product, whether market for that product is there or not, then only you should go, otherwise not. Okay, market is there. How you will sell your product? What is the position of competition in the market? Customers, what are their needs, requirements, how you can satisfy to the customer? Customer satisfaction is very far off now. Nowadays, customer delight, that you have to see. For all these things, market research is required for all these things. Once you have arrived at some node, you have to think through your mind, that this for business, this much money is required, from where that money will come. These are the person required initial stages, this is the machinery, from where it will come. Raw materials required, whether it is available or not, how to procure, if it is available, how to procure it, how to sell the product in the market. All these questions you have to answer on paper only, blueprint. Once you have crossed this level, now you decided I am to go now for the business. You know your resources, you know human resources. When I talk of resources, it includes all, whatever I discussed with you. Of course, if we simply say resources, generally for finance part, it is taken as sources. But in strategic management, resources means all types. So this part of planning comes. Now, you have to plan. What is planning? Anybody? I am not testing your knowledge, please. It is just in layman terms I want. In your mind, yes, please.
Creating a roadmap for us.
Yes, roadmap for what?
For the progress that we are going to make.
No, it is roadmap for your destination.
Okay.
What is your destination? That is goals, objectives. Why I am discussing this thing with you? Because after this, we will be shifting to the subject. All these things will come in technical terms, in a theoretical manner. It will become easy for you to understand the subject. Now we have to go for the planning. When we talk of strategic planning, it means big organization. It does not mean that planning is not there. Even a single person, individual doing business, he also plans, may not on the paper, but in the mind. You set some target. Sometimes there are two things. One is if we say our government is telling 5 trillion economy in so many years. This is target, objective. What is this? Or if we say in 2047, India will be a big power. Is this an objective? Very important thing I am going to tell you through this. Is this an objective? If I want to say, suppose I am a consultant, I say after 10 years I am going to be #1 consultant in India. Is it my objective? No, this is not objective. This is my vision. I want to be. If I say I want to be, this is my vision. This is not my objective. Objective is when we put it in numerical terms, this much sales we are going to achieve. Of course, vision only, you come to objectives. One is long term objectives, one is short term objectives. When we talk about goals and objectives, sometimes we use this interchangeably. Goals, objective, we say one and the same thing. But in strategic management, there is different. When we talk of goals, it means long term goals. And we divide, say after 7 years, sale will be doubled. So every year should achieve at least, if it is 100, we are going to be 200 after 7 years. So in 3.5 years, at least there should be increased by 50%. Again, half of 3.5 years, at least 25% we should achieve. So 7 years divide into 4 parts, and every part we can achieve 25%, so that we can achieve ultimately. So these are all our objectives, which are measurable, actionable, leading to the main objective. So I have talked about vision also, goals also, objectives also. Now let us see. Just tell me, during your college days or just nowadays, you must have gone through the board written our vision, our mission. Have you gone through that? What is there in? What is the mission of this college or any college? What is the mission? Vision you know, objective you know, goals you know. What about then your mission? Mission is how the organization connects itself to the society, what they are doing for the society. You go through this in mission. Vision, what I have told you, where we would be in the future. Vision will be converging towards that. If you see mission, that will be connecting to it with the society. How? Providing high quality education to the students, so that they can develop their skill and knowledge, they can get good jobs, developing good engineers, pride of India. This is what institution is telling. This is our mission. We are going to do this thing for the society. We want to do this. That is why we are in this business. This is our mission. We want to do this. What is vision? Where we would be after so many years. That is vision. Goals, objectives, everything you will be finding here. So now I will be coming to the subject. What we plan for the future, long term basis, that is your strategic planning. What is strategy, what is strategic planning, what is strategic management, how we do it, what are the different terms. Now we will proceed to the topic. कहाँ चले गए ये? बुलाओ जरा. ये लॉगिन मांग रहा है, सिक्योरिटी कुछ मुझे सिंपल कर दो, मैं सीधा स्लाइड के ऊपर जाऊँ बस. हो गया फिनिश
इंटरनेट चलेगा हाँ आप सर इससे
हाँ मैं इसको करता हूँ सो what are the learning objectives of this chapter today's session? It is not strategic management objectives subject, this is learning objectives for the today's topic, developing awareness about the historical developments, that is called evolution, how it started, how this subject made progress from time to time, that is the evolution, historical development of the strategic management in India and around the world, how this subject came into existence, how it developed itself from time to time, grasp the concept of strategy and its limitations. Of course, with strategy we will be understanding strategic management also, strategic also. Then how to process this strategic decision making, how your strategic decision making process works, that we also will be learning in this session. So, awareness about various schools of thoughts, what they think about the development of the strategy, how strategy is to be formed, different schools, different concepts, what they said from years to years, one era, second era, third era, and who was responsible for the formulation of the strategy, that also we will learn. Today it is going to be background only of this subject and some conceptual clarities. And my request to everyone, kindly take care of today's lecture, because what we are going to discuss today, that will be taken up in the subsequent chapters also. So, those words, names will be repeated, concepts will be repeated. If you miss today, it may become difficult for you to understand the future lectures. And I am dead sure, and I can assure you, if you pay proper attention what I am telling and get your doubts clarified, you will find this subject as the easiest one. Then gain command of how the strategic management process operates. So, you understand about history, its evolution, various schools, concepts, what was the formation of strategy for them. Then we will understand about strategic management and limitation, what is strategy, what is limitations. So, evolution of strategic management and business policy. This subject started as a business policy first. What is policy? When we plan, we formulate certain policies. Policies are the guidelines to take decision. How many production units are to be produced, how these are to be produced, how many supervisors should be there. There are policies for everything. So, you have to follow those for that purpose. So, it started from the Harvard Business School. In 1911, there was an integrative course. What is the meaning of integrative here? Integrative means covering various skills, various subjects. I was just talking to one of the students today. I was happy to note, and sure also, because this course starts after you finish your core courses in finance, in marketing, and you are in HR, production, what are different maybe in IT. Then only, this is the meaning of integrative. Integrative knowledge, what are skills you have learnt, then only you have to go for this course. Generally, this is at the final year, it is taught at the end of the final year, because whatever knowledge and skill you have acquired from the earlier your sessions in earlier subjects, core subjects, that will be utilized here. In human resources also, finance also will work out here, market also will work out here. So, that also you will come to know. So, it is also an integrated course they started. It was based on the case studies. It was just the inception of the course. What happened after that? This course gained popularity. Recommended by Ford Foundation, Gordon Howell report recommended capstone course of business policy. Capstone course is the same thing which I told you integrated knowledge. I will explain to you in detail, because sometimes in the exam it is maybe asked short answer questions. What do you mean by capstone course? That we will be taking up. So, recommended a capstone course of business policy dealing with complex business problems. When we talk of strategic management, it means corporate. Corporate means definition of a company, artificial person with perpetual succession. So, corporate means big organization, lot of productions, export import also, maybe domestic market, and large number of human resources, changing circumstances. Changing circumstances. We are doing business today. Let us take one example. Keeping with today's circumstances, current circumstances, we plan something. Do you think this will work for another 4 or 5 years or 1 year or 2 years? Will it work? It will not work, because today's circumstances are different from the future circumstances due to uncertainties and risks involved. So, one has to implement strategies keeping with knowledge and the scenario. What is the scenario exists? Of course, that is called environment, internal and external. That also we will discuss in our future lectures. So, because of complexities in the business, complexities means, you see, what was the position about 5 years back, that is existing today or not? It is not, it has changed a lot. Rules have changed, your legal requirement has changed, legal environment has changed, competition has changed, economic conditions have changed. So, you should maintain flexibility in your approach, because ever increasing complexities. Ford Foundation sponsored this research by Gordon and Howell. They submitted a report and recommended a course which is a capstone course of business policy dealing with complex business problems. So, at that time business problems were complex. So, complexities went on increasing and still going on, still going on. American Assembly of Collegiate School of Business, it reached up to that stage. They made this course mandatory. Which course? Business policy. Later on its name was changed to strategic management and business policy, and again strategic management, simultaneous strategic analysis. With varying teaching methodology, differing curriculum options, analytical thinking, skill development, these you have to note. All these things you have to note. What is to be noted here? Varying teaching methodology, different curriculum options, analytical thinking, skill development, and so keeping all these factors intact. Again necessity was felt to give a big boost to this course, because managers, they should be in a position to take ultimate decisions under all these circumstances. You can take decision if you have information. Let us take the example of a doctor. First of all, just on the basis of symptoms, doctor diagnoses the disease. If doctor is not in a position to diagnose, he will say certain tests. No, this doctor gets the reports. Can he draw conclusion from the reports unless he has thorough knowledge of his medical profession? No. He should be in a position to see this is blood urea, this is cholesterol level, this is sugar level. If this is the level, what can be the disease? Correlations between one and second thing. So, knowledge is required. Knowledge can be acquired at any stage. What is skill? Skill is how to utilize that knowledge. That a skill is required. Skill is as good. Once you have knowledge, you should develop your skill also, so that how to implement that knowledge. So, let us take what is capstone course now. I will just read it. I think whatever discussed in 3-4 points you will understand. By capstone course is meant a course that comes at the end of the delivery of the curriculum in an educational program. It is at the end means at the end of your course. First year is over, now you are in the final year. So, this course has been taken in the final year. Again I repeat, for this course you require knowledge of all 3 functions, management functions. That is why this is called a capstone course. In an educational program, strategic management course is taught at the end of the manual education program. So, it is a capstone course. By being an integrative course, strategic management attempts to bring together knowledge gained in various functional areas of management. I think this should be very clear to you. This should be very clear to you what is capstone course, integrative, because for strategic management we have knowledge of various functions. You have to develop your skill. You have knowledge, you have to develop your skill. Therefore, this course is taught at the end with fixed curriculum. That is why this course is called capstone course. Any course which satisfies these criteria, that is known as a capstone course. So, strategic management, strategic analysis is your capstone course. Let us go to the evolution now, how this course started. So, from the first slide it is very clear to you that I am talking about USA only, Harvard, USA, India has not appeared so far. You see, this strategic management program started from USA only. India took it from USA only. Strictly it was copied. Now we are at such a stage, according to Indian conditions, Indian material and value addition is also being done at India level. Earlier it was as good as USA course. Hoffer and others view the evolution of strategic management. Earlier name was business policy. How these two management experts in terms of 4 paradigm shifts that are as below. See how this strategic management started. Basically it is formulation of a long term policy. In earlier days business was not big, complexities were not there. So, what is the first point there? Ad hoc policy making. Ad hoc means as when as necessity felt, they planned and formulated the policy. That was not ad hoc policy making. So, in the year 1930 to 1940, during those 10 years, lot of changes took place in the environment. Because of changes taking place in the environment, complexities, so many complexities increased. So, it became necessary, when complexities increases, it becomes necessary for the organization also to think in those terms only, so that the organization can align itself with the environment. So, then came the concept of planned policy formulation because of complexities. Complexities did not stop here. Then strategy. Business became further complex in 1960. Instead of this planned policy, then came the era of strategy. What is strategy? Strategy is also a plan. Then what is the difference between planning and strategy? I will tell you in detail. One full slide is there on strategy. Now remember this thing only. This one is your long term plan is strategy. Long term plan plus so many other things we will discussing in the subsequent slides. Then in 1980, concept of strategic management entered. Formulation of strategies, formulation, how to manage, management of various functions and activities under this strategy. Then strategic management emerged. This is the evolution in short, starting from ad hoc policy, planned policy, strategy, strategic management. Why it has happened? Because of increasing complexities, because of changing environment. See, any organization is or business is definitely influenced by the environment. You see, environment is dynamic, it is changing, fast changing. it does not exist as it is. Today, what is there, tomorrow, what will be, with skill and knowledge only you can predict. You can predict for the future. So when you plan, you are looking towards the future. So future is full of uncertainties. Uncertainties means risk. This historical perspective of evolution of strategic management, different schools of thoughts. This I will be taking up separately. Just to remember how different schools of thought means how different management experts thought strategic management to be, how policy can be formulated, who is responsible for formulation of the policy, what the policy means to them, why it is necessary. That will be covering in the subsequent slides. Let us clear about the concepts first. So strategic decisions, this I have highlighted. Just remember one thing. What is to be remembered? Strategic decision is the core activity of the managers. This is the core activity. A manager, what is the major task? If somebody asks you, what is the major task of a manager? Decisions making. A manager has to make decisions. For making decisions, he requires information. Without information, how he can take decision? Information has to be analyzed. For that purpose, you should have skill. Whatever knowledge you have, how to implement that. So if I ask you, this is strategic management, this is a science or art? Science or art? Anybody? Both. It's science, anybody, only arts? Science, arts, or only science, or only arts, or both? Both. Can anybody explain how both? Yes. Please listen. Right, to some extent. I just modify what you have told. Decision making, two things. One, collection of information. You should require information so that you can analyze and arrive at some conclusion. This is my decision. In strategic management or strategic policy formulation, you require information. How data is to be collected? You just go and just can't collect. There are scientific ways of collection of data. Research work is there. This is all scientific. It is not at all vague. When you are planning for the future for a big organization, should have relevant data, in time data, and right data, what is required. Collection of data is scientific. Now you are utilizing your skill from your knowledge, and you are, after formulation of policy, you are implementing that. What is your implementation part? Implementation part is art only, because skill is there. It differs from person to person. Perception differs from person to person. Knowledge differs from person to person. Skill and knowledge is one thing which can be developed. But how it is to be, this implementation part is art. This science or art, it is both. This I will be touching in different slides also. If the question comes, it is science or art, you have to explain it in these terms. So let us go through this statement. Strategic decision is the core activity of the managers, and strategic behavior is the manifestation. That is, outcome is the formation of strategy. One is manifestation, behavior, how a person behaves. So behavioral sciences also, science also, art also. So implementation part is an art. Collection part of information, decision, this one is your scientific part. So it is both. So strategic management is both. Strategy is science also, art also. What is the outcome of strategy? Collection of information, decision making, and your behavior. how you make the decision. What is the outcome of that? That is your strategy. Pointers for to the future. Strategies always indicates toward the future. What we are going to do, what will we be, what can be, how it is to be. All these questions are to be answered in your strategy. How to look at the future, and mind it, future means uncertainties. Uncertainty means risk. You have to use the trend analysis also. What are past depth information, what is present. Based on this data only, you have to predict the future. You have to maintain some flexibility also in that, so that if something sudden changes take place, we have not anticipated. Your strategy can, planning can adopt to that. Adoption should be possible. So, view of ends of management of discontinuous changes that takes into consideration psychological, sociological, political, systemic characteristics of the complex organization. Why we have to look at the future? Because of such type of changes taking place in the organization. Because organization is being affected by the environment which is beyond control of the management. Management cannot control the environment, only management can adjust itself. How to be adjusted? You know, SWOT analysis. That what Toffler has told. Toffler told, no longer responsible to produce goods and services. Manager's core task is not decision making. In strategic management, when we talk of strategic management, if somebody asks you what are the functions of a manager, never say, even nobody should say nowadays profitability only. Major task of manager is decision making. That has to be. It is not the profitability. He has to make the decision in a complex organization, in a complex environment where things are dynamic, that is not existing as it is, rapidly changing. Contributing to the solutions of the extremely complex ecological, political, racial, gender and social problems. When we talk of decision making, production, you know, many must be knowing about corporate social responsibility. It is leading towards that only. Strategic management does not mean only profitability and production. You have to look after the society also. There should not be any gender bias. There should be fairness, transparency, accountability, transparency. You have to look after the, you should not be racial. I am to produce for this category only, I am not to produce for others. You have to serve the society as a whole. It should not be racial, it should not be gender based, it should be looked after all. So, review of emerging concepts and techniques in strategic management. What are the emerging concepts? Remelt and others pose 4 fundamental questions. How do firms behave? During the era of this, we are talking about evolution. In evolution, how things are changing from time to time. Now we are reaching thinking of the management experts in what lines? Those are, how do firms behave? Under these circumstances, what is their behavior? Why the firms act differently? You must have heard, successful people do the right things or do the things rightly. Which is correct? Successful person do the things rightly or do right things? Do the things rightly or do right things? I will give you a hint. You can analyze what is the correct answer. Repeat it. Should I repeat it? Successful persons do the right things or do the things rightly? Correct. Do the things right, because they will choose that only which is right, that they will do. Now you will say how they will choose? They will utilize their mind, skill. Do the things rightly means they will have to choose everyone. If it is not right, discard it, go for the other one. Always choose the right thing to do. This is on these lines, why they act differently. What is the function of value added by headquarters of the organization in diversified firms? See Tata. Tata is diversified firms. Tata Chemicals, Tata Capital, Tata Motors, Tata Power, etc. etc. These are all business units of the Tata. They are having diversified business through different business units. Their headquarters is Tata, Tata Sons. What Tata Sons is doing for these business units? What determines the success or failure of the international competition? Okay, we talk of competition domestically only. We have to answer all these questions. That's why again strategic management came into existence and still continuing. Now shifted the focus on external and internal environment. Why all these changes are taking place? Internal and external environment. Internal environment is which is specific to the organization, specific, and external is which is not specific, which is common for all. Government making rules and regulations for all the firms. You have formed certain rules for your staff members, for your company. Those are your specific rules. General rules and specific rules. Internal environment and external. Internal, your employees, organization, interaction, management, resources. This is your internal environment. External is legal environment, competitive environment, then your political environment, how politics are moving in a country, how financial markets are moving in the country, what is the financial system of the country, what is the macro level things which influences all. You cannot control that. Those can be controlled by the controller only. You can simply adjust to the changes taking place. Shifted the focus to internal external environment, and basically this is the question of relationship with the external environment, relationship with the internal environment. So shifted the focus to the environment. HIT and others in the field of strategy management has advanced substantially both in theory and research in the last 25 years. Research was conducted by HIT and others. They observed that the strategic management has gone on lot of changes in the last 25 years, shifting from one stage to others because of increasing business complexities, because of increasing environmental threats and opportunities. So let us see the model of the strategic management. I have talked about the environment, I have talked about the vision and mission, goals and objectives I have talked, I have talked about the strategy, I have talked about the implementation part. So whatever I discussed now, properly we are putting in a theoretical manner as a subject strategic management analysis. This all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this will be going through in detail one by one. In short here, and it's somewhere in your future lectures in details. Let us talk about this internal external environment which is required for strategic analysis. You require information of the environment, internal also, external also. Internal is easy for you because the internal is in your control, you can change it. External you can't change. Your one complete session will be there on this environment, scanning of the environment. What are the politics existing in the country or international level if you are exporter? What are rules and regulations formed by the government for this particular business? What is the competition environment, competitive environment in this business? So you try to gather the information of all these factors. Then you see what is your vision and mission. Vision, I told you how you view yourself, where we would be, I want to be a number one consultant in 10 years. No, I am at 20th rank. This is your vision. A bank started branch, you say at a lower level only, local level. Vision is would be international bank in 20 years. That is their vision. What is mission? Mission is you are connecting yourself with the society. What your organization is doing for the society. I gave the example of that college imparting education to the students, producing high quality managers, producing best quality engineers. This is what college is going to be the society. Then for a banker, what can be the mission? Serving the poor class of the society through simplified loans, mobilizing savings of the individuals and groups and organizations to add value to their money. This is mission. What you are just reflecting what you are going to do for the society. Then your goals and objectives. Goals are your long term goals. I told you in the beginning. In 5 years, my sale should be doubled. For 100 units, it should be 200 units. So in 5 years should be double. You have to increase by 100 units. So every year 20, 20, 20, 20. These are your objectives. This 20 is measurable. You are measuring every year. Actionable, you take action on that. You take action on that. See, footnote I have given, goal, achievable outcome, generally broad and longer term. And what about this objective? Shorter term defines measurable actions to achieve an overall goal. Objectives lead to goals. Again, the long term goals means this one is your strategy, long term plan to achieve the. That is a case study. यही नॉलेज अप्लाई होगा. इट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. अभी कैसा वी आर जस्ट एट द बिगिनिंग. अभी तो आपको बता रहा हूँ स्ट्रेटजी मैनेजमेंट क्या है. प्लीज लिसन.
मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ कि जैसे यू हैव लॉन्ग एक्सपीरियंस इन द बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री, ये बैंक का एक एग्जांपल है, ये टिकट
ठीक है,
सारी फीचर्स है ना, उसके अंदर थोड़ा सा डाल के हमें बता दें.
वो आएगा. दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस प्रोग्राम. आई विल टेल यू इन द एंड. आप अपने आप करोगे. देखो, दोज दे आर अटेंटिव इन द क्लास. नहीं समझ गया. समझ इट विल बी. सी, I started from, you should have the knowledge of the fields. I am at that stage only. What does this subject mean to us? ये subject में है क्या? Today and how it has developed. Today we are going to learn that. जो आपका ना goals, objectives, scanning of environment. We are going to study in detail. They will come to know various circumstances, how to take decision. If this is the information, this is the information. Those in case studies, those conditions will be provided to you. Your whatever knowledge you will be gaining, you have to form your strategy yourself, and you will be very much pleased to work on that. I am sure it is very interesting subject, but it is very important to learn. For SM, previous knowledge is right, but for doing work as a strategic manager, at least first these 2 hours, half an hour more is definitely required to understand the subject, what it is. I think you must have come to know इसमें क्या होने जा रहा है. I am sure by this now you must be aware what we are going to learn in this subject. Strategy, arenas, vehicles, differentiators, staging, economic logic. This I will explain to you in next slide. Then implementation, levers and strategic leadership. That is the last part is when you have done what are your goals, objectives, you have set it. How you will set? By your analysis of the information which you gathered from the and through its scanning of the environment. You have set your goals, objectives also. Now you have to formulate the strategy. What you have to think while formulating the strategy? In general, not specific. These points I will discuss. Then implementation part. Finally, you have to implement the policy implementation. Now, what first of all you have to gather the information, one thing. Then you have to set your goals. On the goals you have to come to objectives. Then you have to formulate the strategy. Ultimately, you have to implement the strategy. One more thing is the implementation, that is control part. Control part means whether strategy is working the way you want or not. If it is not working, why? Where is the leakage? You have to plug that. You have to take corrective action for that. So let us take this one, strategy part. You know, scanning of requirement, vision, mission, goals. Let us take while formulating strategy, what you have to keep into mind. What is in us? Where will be active? You must know where you want to be active. What does this activeness means? Again I repeat that example. I want to be top 1 consultant, number 1 consultant in 10 years. This is not your arena, because this is your vision only. You should say here, you should think, I want to achieve this much of sales in this area, in this segment of the market, or in 2 years I will be having these many clients. Suppose you have 500 clients now. If you want to be number 1, you should have this type of technology, these type of clients, these types of sub-stock with you. Know what is the position. You define your vision in those terms, in numerical terms. Okay, this is the sale I should achieve. That is the area, it is not the vision. Sometimes students get confused there. Please keep into mind. Then how will we get there? Vehicle. Actually, what is your goal is your destination. We require some vehicle to reach there. So here also, how to reach to your goals. You want some vehicles. What are your vehicles? You know arena. You must specify how you are going to be there. What are the vehicles? Joint ventures. You have certain resources, certain strengths, but you don't have other strengths which you require. But some other person is having or other organization requiring. You can enter a joint venture with them. Some sort of synergy. You are having capital, they are having manpower. Combine those. They get advantage of the capital and machinery. You get the advantage of the manpower. That is joint venture. Acquisitions. You can acquire some company which can give you manpower, or you can acquire some financer which can give you finance. That is acquisition. Through that vehicle, because you want finance to reach there, acquisition is your vehicle. Then licensing. If production of something, say liquor items, you want some license. You have to apply for that and get. Without license, you cannot proceed. So vehicle license becomes your vehicle under those circumstances. Partnerships. Please, those they are not interested, please don't disturb others. They are at liberty to leave the class. If you are not interested in learning, but others are there, let others learn. You are responsible persons, most of you are in jobs. And holiday you are spending, you are wasting or utilizing. Don't waste your holiday, utilize your holiday. There are persons who are showing lot of interest. Don't disturb others. Those they want to leave, they are at liberty to leave. I don't mind. But I mind if you disturb others, those they are interested. You are putting yourself to loss and others also. Franchising. Franchising is not taking the name, taking some brand and characteristics of that brand, how to produce, what should be the design, what should be the characteristics of your product. That is your franchising. Build in-house. This is a very important strategic decision. You want to purchase something from outside or you want to build in-house, or you want to take some machinery on hire by paying rent, or you want to purchase by spending your own money, borrowing or purchasing of your own. These are your very important strategic decisions. You have to analyze pros, you have to see pros and cons. If I buy, what I am going to lose, what I am going to gain. If I produce from inside, what I am going to gain, what I am going to lose. So, cost benefit analysis will help you. Strategically you have to think. You have to do strategically cost benefit analysis. So, this is the meaning of the vehicle. Why strategy? It is not that simply you have formulated strategy. You have set your goals also, but how to achieve? You require what 10 crores of rupees, you are having 2 lakhs only. You should buy a vehicle, whether it is possible for you to get or not. How will we win the market? That is differentiation, differentiators. In competition, lot of competition there. How you differentiate yourself from your competitors? Market differentiation. What is to be done in that? You will be focusing on quality, you will be focusing on price, you will be focusing on design, you will be focusing on customization. You must be knowing everybody what is customizations. That is producing goods according to the specification of the customer for different customer groups. Reliability and durability, that you are keeping into mind as differentiation. Speed to the market. You want immediately produce the product. Immediately you have to throw your product in the market, or you want to wait. Then speed of the product updates, because things are changing. Today we are giving something to the customer. Tomorrow customer needs, desires, wants, tastes, habits, everything will change. So you have to act according to the choice of the customer. For that purpose also market survey is required, and salespersons are the best person to give you this information. Then customer service is the most important for all. Even something is more important than the customer. What is the most important thing which lies above all? Even before customer service, what is that? Can anybody tell me? Above all, even above customer service. What is that? Behavior. You are giving best services, but your behavior with the customer is not as desired, not as customer accepts from you to behave. Will your services matter? Will services matter if behavior is not good? Even best quality services, customer will not be. If sometimes some loophole is there, your behavior is very good, customer will be satisfied. Say, okay, he is a good person almost, maybe some genuine problem. Today he has not done it to my expectation, tomorrow he will do it. He will forget and forgive. Am I right or not? Have you faced this practically or not?
Yes.
What will be our speed and sequence of the moves? This is called staging and sequencing. So your strategy needs to progress from one step to the next. It is not that immediately you jump. Immediate jumping will put you to loss. Other competitors, they are just thinking to bring something to the market, and customer has not expected something. You are giving of your own in the market, and customer, they have not thought of they don't require that product. Then you are very innovative. So timings are also very important in sequencing. Sequencing means 2 after 1, 3 after 2, 4 after 3, 5 after 4 in sequence, like episodes in TV. I use the first episode, second episode, third. It is based upon the earlier events, next event. Key question to ask during the steps are, what sequence of steps should we take, at what step we should take these steps. This I explained to you with example. So, economic logic. Now you are thinking in terms of economics. Economics comes, when we talk of financial benefits, we talk of profitability, cash only. When we talk of economic benefits, in terms of cash only, non-cash items also. By producing this product, how much employment I am earning this much of money, but how much employment I will be giving to the society. How many people will be employed by me? This is non-cash benefit to you. The final part of the diamond pools, I forgot one thing to tell you why this word diamond is coming. The model which I showed to you, strategy diamond, its name is strategy diamond also. The final part of diamond pulls everything together in one name, that is you are thinking in terms of profits, not financial profits, economic profits. Then in a nutshell, this section comes down to the competing, whether you have to charge low cost, you have to charge high cost, you have to high quality at low cost, or you have to low quality at high cost. What you are going to do, it depends on your strategy and compete in the market. Sometimes customers, if quality is good, there are customers who want to pay higher for that. There are customers, even if quality is there, do not want to pay higher. Can you produce good quality at a lower cost? Yes, you can, if you enjoy the benefits of economies of scale. Economies of scale means when you produce more and more, your cost per unit comes down with every unit of production. So, if you are enjoying the benefits of economics of scale, definitely you can sell a good quality at a lower cost. So, low cost or Ryanair can transport customers at a lower cost per mile than airline in Europe. Let us take the example of Apple. Apple can charge higher prices because their customers are willing to pay more for their unique design. So, if design is being accepted, you need not worry about the price, customer are ready to pay. Only thing you have to study your market. While working with strategy, you are not to know your market also. To have great strategy, the 5 parts of the diamond must not only align, they must reinforce each other. That is, you have to think individually also, in combination to that also, because ultimately you are splitting your strategy into those different parts. What is the Indian scenario? Where we stand? We are talking about USA only. Where we stand in India, what is the position of strategic management? This question is very important for you to understand. How evolution took place in India? What is being done for the development of strategic management course in India? So, started in India in late 50s. Role of Institute of Managements and Admin Staff Colleges, ASCI. Admin Staff Colleges in India and IIMs, they introduced these courses. Early 60s, curriculum and philosophy of management education were borrowed, I told you earlier, repeating here, borrowed substantially from American business schools. Ahmedabad on Harvard model, Ahmedabad started this course and they borrowed this course from the Harvard. Whatever it was being taught, same curriculum they introduce here also, their course contents also, study material also, and this with unparalleled growth it spread to other institutions also. It was started by IMI Ahmedabad. So, AICTE All India Council of Technical Education. This is regulator for engineering courses and for management courses also. AICTE is the regulator for management courses. They introduced course at 2-3 different stages. When they found certain amendments, first of all, this course was not mandatory. It was elective course. It was made core course. Now it is a core course for all. What they did, this AICTE introduced strategic management in 1990 and again in 1995, because they felt certain changes in that. Corporate planning strategy and strategic management in 2012 suggested to make it compulsory. It was made compulsory in 2018. It was introduced as the core course. Now it is being taught in MBA colleges. Development of Indian system of management through research, state of art, but so far development is concerned in Indian conditions, that is not so encouraging. Theoretical part is okay, but unless and until we do some good research work and add something to the literature, to the knowledge, it cannot make progress. So far research work is concerned, it has not made so much development, but anyhow it is going on showing development, but not with that pace which is desired. Due to limitations of multiple skills, and considerable business knowledge. This is one of the major reasons, because for this course multiple skills are required. Students, I tell you, you should not ignore this course. This is the course required by you if you have to work in the corporates. Definitely it gives you a strong foundation in corporates. So what are the other institutions who are working on this for the development and growth of this program? Role of AIMS, All India Management Societies. They have taken research initiatives. They are giving impetus to the research. A role of All India Management Association. All India Management Association is doing a lot. What they are doing? They are doing management education also, diploma in management and many other management courses in different fields. And also so many seminars they conduct. They are also having different types of awards for excellent management services during the year. Symposiums, exhibitions, awards, seminars they conduct, and they have got publications also for this. India focused international studies. The focus should be on India. Students are also sent abroad for higher studies to develop them with management skill as a strategic, to become a good strategic manager. There are many publications. Pardon? Look, sure. You want IMA, All India Management Association? India focus. I should start from, see, this so far in focus of India is concerned, Institute of Management Ahmedabad, this course was started. This course was, you can say, imitated from Harvard only, starting from curriculum, examination style, everything ditto, nothing was different. Slowly and slowly they transformed from those conditions to the Indian condition, but foundation was the same. What lines this course was being run, so it did on the same levels. Then staff training college, they also came into existence. Now different institutions, they also started playing important role for the development and growth of the management knowledge. When I take management knowledge, it means knowledge about strategic management. Role of AIMS, that is All India Management Societies, their initiative on research, they emphasizes on research only, most of the times. And role of All India Management Association, They are at Lodi Road, Delhi office is there. I am also a member of that. They have got number of publications with them on management studies, which include strategic management also. They are having course of strategic management. They are having in their diploma course of MBA strategic management course. They conduct so many seminars also on management and related courses. Then a number of awards are also there for excellencies in management studies and for contribution towards the management knowledge. India focused international studies. They are studies based on Indian conditions, students sent abroad to get skill from there, strategic management skill from there, and they implement in Indian conditions. Focus is on India only, conditions in India only, but skill, they develop knowledge of the subject. Skill is how to implement in the Indian conditions, that they learn and learn from the abroad. Then your large number of magazines and publications you must have seen in the market, magazines. In newspapers also you get articles. Business India is a very important magazine, Business Today, Business Connect. These all contain very good articles on management. Of course, it includes on strategic planning also. Some for future direction of strategic management. Some pointers to development of strategic management can be how to develop it. That is refinement of general principles underlying strategic thinking. Reframing from time to time. It is not what you have decided today. What are rules you have framed that will work for the future also. It has to be reframed, renewed from time to time. Continued review of the model of strategic management. Whatever model you have developed today, you have to review it from time to time. Why to review? Because of changing conditions, changing scenarios. One model does not work at a time, of always. It may work at that time for the period you have developed. The development of several courses in the period of specialization in business policy. There are so many courses. You should know finance, you should know marketing, you should know human resources, you should know international business, you should know IT. If you have good knowledge of all these courses, strategic management, implementation part in a big corporate, when you are working as, because this is a task of a top management. This is not the role or activities of a lower level or middle level management. Strategic management means what are strategic decisions? Let us take it first. Decisions which are taken at the corporate level. These are not day-to-day routine decisions. In decision making, I will discuss further. Can we characterize the development of strategic management in India? This is very important question. Whatever we have understood, I have just summarized here. I will just read it 4 or 5 points. Yes, we can characterize the development of strategic management in India as promising. Some of the reasons could be as below. We can say it has grown, it has developed by proliferation of business schools requiring strategic management and business policy to be included in the curriculum. It is a part of syllabus now. The management education regulatory bodies require strategic management courses. AICT requires this course. It is there in the colleges and also required by the regulators. Increasing number of India focused international. Lot of such work is being conducted at international level also, India level also on strategic management. So you see, day by day literature is also increasing on strategic management. You will, if you just go through your Google, you will find lot of literature on strategic management. So it is available in abundance. If you want to learn more strategic management, you can find abundance of the literature. A word of caution for the term strategy. We are talking about strategy. I was just talking so many words I have used: strategy, environment, goals, strategy formulation, timing, this thing, that thing. But do you think that it is very easy to say? But when we do it actually, in the organization, can we do it actually? It is very complex. The way it appears to be simple, it is very complex. Literature and text in strategy management assign a definite meaning to them, strategic. It is very difficult to say what is your market strategy. What is your financial strategy? What is your advertising strategy? Invariably, we are using these words in routines today. Are we using it or not? थोड़ा जोर से और आई विल का कम.
अभी अगर स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट करने के लिए कौन सा कोई एप्लीकेशन यूज करती है, सॉफ्टवेयर यूज कर रही है या स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट?
उसके लिए आपको पहले नॉलेज चाहिए. आप नॉलेज गैदर करेंगे ना, आपने स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस देयर, स्टैटिक एनालिसिस देयर. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल स्टैटिस्टिक्स टूल जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स में है, आप जस्ट पुट अप द इंफॉर्मेशन देयर, फर्स्ट नो वेदर दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इज सिग्निफिकेंट और नॉट, देन यू हैव टू प्रोसीड फर्दर. हाँ, क्यों नहीं. डाटा कलेक्शन जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स का डाटा कलेक्शन है, इट इज़ एज गुड एज व्हाट यू डू इन रिसर्च. देयर डिफरेंट टेक्निक्स, क्वेश्चनरी टेक्निक्स है, कंप्लीट न्यूमरेशन टेक्निक्स है, देन सेकेंडरी डाटा, प्राइमरी डाटा. वो रिसर्च जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स का पार्ट है ना, दैट मोस्ट सेम. इट इज सर्च ओनली. दैट अ वर्ड सर्च इज वॉज यूज सो मेनी नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स. Invariably we are using the words procurement strategy, but it is misunderstood. Whatever these words have been attached to that, it is not that what I have told you. If you somebody says what is your this advertising strategy, that is different from what I have told you. That is invariably it has been what is your strategy. मतलब आप क्या करने जा रहे हो इसके लिए एडवर्टाइजर में. That is not your strategy. We use the word. What now strategic means? Till now we are discussing strategy, strategic management. What the strategic means? When things are done keeping with the objectives and strategies of the organization. Why something is called strategics? You should have goal in your mind. You have to formulate the strategy to achieve those goals. Should have goals. Goal means your destination. You should plan how to reach there. That is called strategic. Let us read it. When things are done keeping the objectives and strategies of the organization and is seen as something having a long term. Strategy means long term. Vital significance to the future of the organization. Is it difficult to understand now? You should have goal in mind. You should have blueprint to achieve those. It should be long term vision, long term horizon. When you act like that, achievement of long term goals, right, in a strategic manner, that is strategic. What is strategic manner? When things to be done keeping view objective and the strategy. You have strategy, you have objective. That is your strategic. The concept of strategy now. It is important to understand what is strategy now. If these things are included, then we can say strategy. I am slowly I started as a layman. I explained you different terms. Now you have understood. I am going on adding. Now finally we have reached what strategy is in theoretical terms. Everything you know. Only thing you have to use it in a proper manner. What is that? A plan of course of action. Is it not? Is it not a course of action? Plan. It is not a plan, strategy. Set for the decision rules, making a pattern or creating a common thread. Common thread. What is there in that common thread? It is a plan like a common thread. तो उस common thread में क्या क्या होना चाहिए? Let us understand now. The pattern of common thread related to the organization's activities. Organization activities will be included in that. All activities which are derived from the policies, objectives and goals. What you have to achieve? You have to achieve your goal. Based on goals, what are your objectives? Those you have to achieve. Time to time you have to achieve objectives. Once you achieve your objectives periodically, you will achieve your goal at the end. So it is important to achieve your objectives. So if you have to travel 10 kilometers in 5 days, you will have to cover 2 kilometers per day at least. at least you are successfully completing 2 kilometers per day. In 5 days, successfully you will be completing 10 kilometers in 5 days. So, what is that pattern? So, you have to do certain activities to achieve your objectives. Pattern of all those objectives. What type of objectives? To achieve your objectives. What type of objectives? Based on your goals. What type of goals? Which you have set through your strategic planning, which you have set you through your strategy. Related to pursuing those activities which move the organization from its current position to the desired future से आपको विजन की तरफ ले जाए धीरे धीरे धीरे. आपने कहाँ पहुँचना है? Slowly and slowly it should bring to the your goal. Let us, you read the third point. What is there? Third point is related to pursuing those activities which move an organization from its current position to the desired position state. Doing the right things. I told you in the beginning, you have to use the right activities. But not all activities, only right activities which are required for the achievement of goals. There may be abundant of works you have to do, but you should do those tasks only which are essential for the achievement of your goal. Right? That's I told you, doing the right things, not doing the things right, doing the right things. Concerned with the resources necessary for implementation of a plan and following the course of action. So, you have to perform certain activities. I am proceeding in a sequence only. You have to perform certain activities now. You should have manpower with you. You have financial resources with you. Can you do without that? And your resources are always scarce. While taking such decision, allocation of resources, utilization of manpower, other resources should be very, very optimum. Optimally, there should not be any wastage. Minimum resources should be allocated in the best possible manner, because cost cutting is also a part of your profitability under this new arena. It is not that only revenue. What is your profit? It is revenue minus cost. You can increase cost by increasing revenue, by decreasing cost also. So, there should not be any wastage. Allocation of resources. All activities, what type of activities? Doing the right things, right activities. For that purpose, you require resources, and allocation should be done according to in an optimum manner. Concerned resources necessary for, not all necessary for implementing a plan or following a course of action, and connected to a strategic position of the firm. You are towards the, what should be the position, what is your vision? That is strategic positioning. This should be your position after so many years. That is your destination, goal. Strategic positioning. Positioning means position goals which are set through your strategy. The planned or actual coordination of the firm's major goals and actions in time, space, and continuously co-align with the firm. Of course, coordination is the essence of the management. While performing all these tasks, it is not a one-man job. It is not only resources. It is not only one person. So, at each and every level, coordination is required. Coordination means everybody should work at one time. You see Chandrayaan 3, coordination is required for success or not? Can you say this person, okay, after few seconds he will just click the button? Is it possible? How few seconds failure, straightaway failure of the project? So, it is just, that is also a strategic decision. Chandrayaan 3. Planned or actual coordination of the firm's major goals, keeping away those, keeping away the plan, resources, manpower. You have to mean time horizon, timings, what are the timings to be taken, space, timings, space, and with coordinated activities. This is at the end. So, you know what is strategy? I think if you just go through this in the book, You will understand. Clear what is strategy? What is strategy management? What is the importance of resources? What are different types of resources? How this course has developed? What are the Indian conditions? Concept of strategy, it has got limitations also. If somebody asks you what are the limitations of strategy, that also should be in a position to tell. One is you have already gone through. What are the limitations? We are driving out of that. I will just read. If somebody is having any doubt, can ask me. If I want, if I require, I will explain also. The application of concept of strategy to real life situation may tend to oversimplify the things. The way we have simplified, is it not? We are thinking in terms of oversimplification. We want to make it very simple. Can we make it so simple the way we are thinking theoretically? No, this is a major limitation. Actual situations are complex and contain several variables that are not amenable to structuring. The concept of strategy tends to distort reality and as an abstraction of the reality. What actual reality is, we are not taking into consideration. We are just talking in theoretical terms only. When we see practically, think in an organization, there we have to face lot of problems. You see, Chander on 1, 2, 3, 2 was a failure, 3 success because learned from the failures. The application of concept of strategy commits an organization to a predetermined course of actions. Predetermined, you have planned, you have decided what is your destination, you have planned how to reach there. So, predetermined course of action that may cause development of rigidity with regard to the outcomes. I want this only, I want this only. There should not be rigidity. See, our Chandrayaan, they must have fixed some specific place for landing, but also they kept into mind, let the Chandrayaan search for the suitable place for itself, so that it can land safely. So, lot of research work, lot of homework is required in all these activities. Levels at which strategy operates. Now, this is very simple. If you just go through the table, there are different levels of strategy also, there are different levels of corporate also. If you see corporate, that is the head office of the organization. Corporate office means where the top management sits, and most of the corporate decisions, strategic decisions are taken at corporate level only. See, there is levels of the strategies, corporate level strategy, business level strategy, and here it is levels of the management, corporate levels, SBU and functions. SBU means strategic business units. Tata example I brought into consideration, I considered Tata. This corporate, Tata Sons is the corporate, Tata Chemicals, Tata Motors, Tata Power, etc., Tata Airlines, these are all strategic business units. Then for every business unit there are the functional areas. Every functional areas, you see SBU is having finance also, marketing also, operations also, HRM also, information technology also. These are levels also. At corporate level there is corporate level strategy, at SBU level there is business level strategy, and at functional level there is functional level strategy. But what is the most important? That is of the corporate level, because all other strategies are derived from the corporate only. What is corporate? Corporate is head office where top management sits and they take vital decisions of the organization. Vital decision does not mean day to day routine decisions. Vital decision means decisions about the, you can say, production of a new product, introduction of a new product. Just production department cannot take decision because money is required, research is required, only top management can think. Dividend payment policy, capital structure, new IPO in the market. This is not that finance department will take decision for new, only corporate office can. So, these are the decisions which are taken up by the corporate office. Then each and every SBU, corporate office, they formulate their own policy, corporate strategy, and they send information to the SBUs. SBUs, they have their own strategies, that is SBU strategies, business level strategies. And the corporate office, they allocate the resources to the strategic business units. So strategic business units, based upon the corporate policies, they formulate the policies of their own SBU. Based on corporate office, SBU A, B, C, they will formulate their own strategic policies. And they will send this information to the under their different functions. Everybody is having these functions. And based on those functional areas, they will plan accordingly. What is to be done? Allocation of resources for corporate to SBUs, and from allocation of resources from SBUs to the different functional areas. Blue also there are levels, but those are not important, like societal level policies, that is what is to be done for the society, that marketing function they can themselves do, buy one get one free, this is policy cooperated by the corporate office. Implementation part is here. Salesperson, they go provide some discount schemes, whether it's given or no. Policy makers. So these are the different levels. What are the different levels? Should be in a position to know. So corporate overarching plan covering corporate levels is covering various functions performed by the different SBUs, that is corporate office. It covers the functions which are done by SBU. In other words, based upon SBUs, based upon their corporate policy, they formulate their own policies. But in business level policies, each strategic business unit will formulate their own policies. From corporate to SBUs, SBUs to the functional areas. SBUs, what they do, business level, company plan providing objectives for SBUs, and allocation of resources among functional areas and coordination between them. Wherever resources are being allocated, they are to coordinate their activities. They have to work with the coordinated activities. So different functional areas: finance, marketing, operations, HR, information. Now you see who is sitting at the top corporate office. They are the strategic policy makers. They are to deal with SBUs. They are to deal with finance, marketing, operations. Ultimately, these are the offices where results of the implementation will be, they will be implementing, results will also be reaped from there. Benefits will be reaped from there only. So implementation part is very important there. So as the formulation is concerned, that is the different levels. What is strategic decision making? You know, this is the core talks. A manager had to take decisions, objectives to be, it is just like if I talk of decisions, these are strategic decisions. Whatever I have told you so far, everywhere decisions are to be taken. In one slide I told you manager behavior, behavior manager manifestation, and manager skill. If you combine these two, strategic and manifestation, it becomes your strategic decision taking. Objectives to be achieved are determined. They are to take decision here. Alternate ways of achieving the objective identified. Where decisions are required by the managers. First level, they are to set the objectives. What objectives are to be set? What goals are to be set? This is top level, middle level, lower level. Everybody has to take according to their own strategies. Ultimately, all your plans are based upon the corporate strategy. Those are part of those strategies. Alternative ways of achieving the objective. There is not a one way of achieving. There may be different ways of achieving the objective. You have to evaluate all those. Which is the best one? That has to be chosen. How to identify the alternatives? How best alternative be chosen? This is part of decision making process. Then problems in strategic decision making. What the problems manager face while taking decisions? Problem related to the objective setting. It is not as simply they will set the objectives, okay, let us take these objectives. While going for objective setting, you in detail will be studying what are the problems there. So, identification of alternatives, objective achieving ability of each alternative, then choosing the best alternative is a formidable task, appears to be simple theoretically. What are the issues involved in strategic decision making? Rationality. What you have to keep into mind while taking decisions, so that your decision should be, if you have taken a wrong decision, you will reach to some other place, not to your destination. You have to take a very right decision under the different circumstances. Are you acting rationally or not? What is rationality in decision making? Strict procedure utilizing objective knowledge and logic involving problem identification for solution, gathering. It means in your rationality, you have to collect the information, analyze that, then you have to proceed. Creativity in decision making, you innovate in decision making process. You try to give something new while taking decision. Variability in decision making. Variability means you just find out what is the variability, that is what is expected, what is actual, what is the variation in that, why that variation is there, how that variation can be taken care of, so that we can take the right decision. That is another issue. Then person related factors in decision making. While taking decision, it is very much depends upon the characteristics of the person. It is important, that is what is the skill of a person, qualification of a person, experience of a person, knowledge of a person. Based upon that decision will be taken. And also next part is by individual and in groups. It depends on situation. So tell me, decision taking in individuals or groups, which is better? Groups. It is better according to the situation. You see, in a small organization, single person, it doesn't require group. But where groups are required, there are limitations of groups also, benefits also. Suppose big organization, you require knowledge of finance also, you require knowledge of taxation also, GST also person you require law officer also. Based on that you have to take some decision. It is better to take decision in a group only, because all the persons with their knowledge, they can contribute. This is the benefit. And group decision taken as through brainstorming, you will get better decision, that is taken through a group. Limitations also there. What are the limitations of decision making by a group? Sometimes some person may not be available. We have to see the presence of all the persons and in time. Some person may be biased, his interest may not be there. So biasness in individual also, here also, that will contribute. So there are different schools of thought in strategy formulation. This is not so important. I will just read and give you hints only. There are three schools of strategy formation. How strategy is formed, how different they consider. First is design school, perspective school. The design school, it was developed from 1950 to 60. Chief executive officer is the person who is responsible for formation of strategy. What are the opportunities available with the organization? What are the qualities? What are the strengths of the organization? And what are the opportunities available? How we can avail those opportunities by best utilization over resources. Based on that we formulate the strategy. That is your design school, because they design your policy according to that. Planning school, formal process, it was in 1960, it is with formal process planning is done, not informal, and it is divided into sub strategies and programmed by the planners. Planners, hello, hello, is it audible? आवाज आ रही है पीछे? आप आगे नहीं कंटिन्यू करना चाहते? Because we started half an hour late. You want to continue or not? अगली क्लास में अपना टॉपिक होगा. चलो मैं आपको 10 मिनट बैठ जाइए, विद इन 10 मिनट आई विल फिनिश। कितना टाइम हो गया?
1:35-40 हो गए, कितना हो गया?
वो तो 1:35, अभी आधा घंटा लेट, हमने 2 बजे शुरू किया है। देखो मेरे को फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, आई कैन कंटिन्यू होने द हाफ एन आवर।
हमें ना फिर अगली क्लास में आना और टाइम लिमिटेड है।
चलो ठीक है। फिर आप ये बुक से पढ़ लीजिए दिस पोर्शन, ये जो स्कूल है ना, स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट, मैं नेक्स्ट में बताता हूँ आपको। फर्स्ट मैं बुक आपको